How are we doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is how I am preparing for Caphras. I don't know if it's the best preparation that you can do, but I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. And if there's anything you guys want to put on top, or if there's anything you want to do for yourselves, go ahead and do it. Now, a quick disclaimer. I know I'm a partnered content creator, but I have no idea what's coming up in any of the patches. They don't tell us, and they shouldn't tell us because depending on the information they give, it could allow us to do certain things in the market to make money. So I definitely get why they don't tell us, and they shouldn't. So I don't know if Caphras is coming next week. However, what I do know is that it is the 2-year anniversary for Xbox. It is the 1-year anniversary for crossplay, and the last code that they gave was, wait for it, that could mean pretty much anything, right? Things I'm hoping for, well, the two main things I'm hoping for is Stars and Caphras. I don't know what we're going to get. I'm expecting we're going to get some really cool stuff. Whether those two are included, if one of those two are included, or both of them included, I have no idea. But eventually we are going to get Caphras. So I am prepping for it now, and I've been really going hard at it for the last week. I've been grinding like crazy. So the first prep is having a bunch of raw silver. I've got 10 billion raw silver available to me on my central market. I also have a pre-order on a Garmoth's Heart. So technically, if I was to take that pre-order off, I would have close to 20 billion silver ready for Caphras. But I do want the Garmoth, so I'm not taking the order off until it gets filled. So that's step one of me prepping for Caphras. Step two, obviously when Caphras, whenever it does come out, it's going to be pretty hard to buy off the central market. It's going to be pre-ordered like crazy. So I need to gather my own, right? So I've leveled up gathering on my main to Artisan 8. I'm probably going to push this to Master during the week as well. So I'll have Master gathering on my main. I've also got like Artisan 10 and 90% on my Shy. So these are the two characters I'm going to be using for gathering to gather as many Caphras as possible, because that is one of the best ways of obtaining Caphras other than grinding certain areas. But even if you grind certain areas, gathering is still better in terms of just Caphras. Obviously, if you grind certain areas for Caphras, you'll be getting silver as well as Caphras, so it depends kind of what you're looking for. I've got a pretty nice nugget of silver tucked away, so until that nugget gets down to like 2 bill, I'll be just literally gathering. So I've got two characters with high level gathering. I'm going to use my Shy for most of it. However, if there's certain things that I want to gather that's highly contested, I will switch to Hanzo and kill the person that's there and just gather it myself, because I can, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's why I've got it on my main and my main life skilling goal. Now, another thing I'm doing is stocking up like crazy on these energy tonics. So this is just stuff that I've had in the past. It's some event tonics that we've had. I just claimed this from my Black Spirit safe. Again, event tonics, stuff that we've been given over time. But I've been crafting. I wish I started this earlier, to be honest. But I have been crafting these large energy potions to keep me gathering as long as I can. So I've got 14 at the minute. And the way you got to do it is you have to go to an alchemist, and it's a specific alchemist that you have to go to. So if you press start, go to functions, go to find NPC, press X, which is square on PlayStation, type in alch, and then just grab here alchemist. You press start. So if we come down here to these NPCs, you can see there's all these different alchemists. Now, only Aluston, so only the Aluston alchemist you can trade your energy for to get these large energy pots. So you have to go down. So if you say your character is in Calphion, there's an Aluston character in Calphion. So you click A on it, and this will auto path you to that alchemist that you can trade your energy for an energy tonic. So right now I am storing all of my energy into large energy tonics on all my characters. So I've yanked most of them to Velia to do this. Now let me show you how you trade in your energy for... Oh, that person doesn't have enough. Here we go. Let's change over to Gandalf. Let me show you guys how you trade in your energy to get this large energy tonic. Now you are going to need 200 energy to do this. And then when you get to your alchemist, Aluston, all you got to do is talk to him and press the exchange button. let me just get over. I know where Leuston is in Velia. He's just over here. So you exchange in your 200, and then this gives you your large energy potion here, and I'm just storing it in my family inventory. This thing's pretty dope. I really like it. So that's how I'm doing it. Now, if you want some advice on how to get your characters here as efficiently as possible, I've got a test character in the desert. So let's say all your characters are pretty spread out and they're either in Valencia area or the Camisilvia area. Those kind of areas don't really have these alchemists, so you kind of need to be in like the Calphion, Heidel, Velia areas, Serendia I should say. Those are the main regions that have these alchemists, so the most efficient way to get your characters there without spending ages just auto-pathing is wherever your character may be. So let's just say your character's in the desert. Use one of your maids to pull out a map. So I've already got one in my inventory. So buy a map, buy one of these travelers map from the central market, pull it out with your maid, click on your map, take it to the nearest town. Now I'm going to Sangrein Bazaar specifically. Unfortunately, what I'm going to show you doesn't work from Valencia. So if you're in Valencia, you're going to have to like auto path in the desert until you get the option to teleport to Sangrein. But then once you get here, what you're going to do is go to character change, select the character you're currently on, and you're going to get this option here. You're going to put your destination as Velia, and then we're going to change to, let's just say, I think Lancel. So then you're going to change to whatever character that you want to transport next to Velia. I did this earlier already. So all the characters that weren't near an alchemist, I did this auto path thing. I used a traveler's map, like all basically my boss ults. I took my boss ults to the nearest town or city and then used this function to auto travel them to Velia, so I don't have to waste my time doing it. It's pretty dope. And now let me show you what would happen if we scroll over to Lord Boaktan. You cannot change to this character for 59 minutes. So basically an hour. So 1 hour after you do this, your character will be here. So I did this on all my ults, and then what I would do is I'll come with my ult to the alchemist. I'll exchange 200 energy for a large energy tonic. And I'm piling up. I'm piling up as many of these as possible to be able to gather for as long as possible, as long as I possibly can when the tonics come out. Also, what else? The other ways I'm going to be doing it every single day on my main, once or twice a day on my main, or once or twice a day on my life skilling main, which is the character I AFK on. I'm going to be trading. They're going to have 200 energy at least once a day each, so I'll be able to do one of these tonics per day with these characters too. So that's pretty good. So that's guaranteed 2 to 4 extra tonics every single day. So I will be stocking up on this as much as possible. I really wish I did this earlier, but you know, better late than never. But the next thing is, since I'm going to be live skilling a lot, I'm going to be going through a lot of tools. So what I'm doing is I'm crafting a bunch of lucky tools in Glish. So I've got 2 tool stations in Glish, and in Glish, I've got 2 workers crafting lumbering axes. These are just left over here from before. So I've got these guys, 2 people crafting lumbering axes in Glish, and then Heidel is my other area that I've set up for tool workstations. So I've got a bunch of tool workstations. Basically, I've got 2 making pickaxes, 2 making butchering knives, and 2 making fluid collectors. So I've got 2 of each of these tools. And to show you in here, so I'm basically making pickaxes, fluid collectors, lumbering axes, and butcher knives, the blue variants of these, because they're the easiest and cheapest to make. And I'm only going to be keeping the lucky ones. So to show you guys what that's going to look like is, let me switch over to Cyrus over here. I'm going to have to keep an eye on Heidel probably 2 to 3 times a day, because it's going to fill out pretty quickly. Glish, probably once a day I'm going to empty Glish. I'm going to have to be pretty active on these, and I will be very active on these, because I'm going to need a lot of these tools to be able to do my gatherings. So what I would do then, once a day in Glish and probably twice a day in Heidel, is empty these tools. I can make more of these crafting stations, However, I think this is more than enough, so I'm not going to. So as you can see, I've got 2 lucky axes here. Make sure it's sorted. Don't have it unsorted. Make sure it's sorted. So you've got 2 lucky axes here. The lucky axes always usually be at the top, and then I got the rest of these unlucky. So first things first, I'm going to grab all the unlucky tools, the ones that didn't get the lucky proc. I'm going to pull them out first, like so. And then you can drop them on the ground, but it's really annoying because you got to do LTY, then press A, which is L2 triangle, press X on PlayStation. I find it quicker just to do it like this, so I don't have, so I could just double tap A on each one and it just sells it. It's a little bit faster. I don't really care for the money. It's just about speed. So there we go. So I get rid of all of those. So now all I've got left in my storages, all I've got left in my storages is the luckies, and then I'll pull out the luckies and I'll send them to the central market like so. And I'm going to be doing that as well. So this way I'm going to have a crap ton of lucky tools for gathering. I've heard from PC players that lumbering is the best, one of the best sources for gathering Caphras. But I do want to test it myself because I've had other people also say like, well, actually gathering is just as good and using mining is just as good. And no, I've never heard anyone say butchering is just as good though. So I'm not sure on the butchering. But personally, I also want to make some money whilst gathering these Caphras. So I'm going to be doing lumbering, and what I'm going to be lumbering... So the way I'm going to be focusing on lumbering is I make crates. So if you come over here to Calphion, you can see I've got a bunch of different timbers. I've got all these different types of timbers that I'm processing to make my crates in Grana, because that's the life skill that I do. So I'm going to be basically checking like, all right, I probably want to make, I've got a lot of Medea crates at the minute, and I know what I'm short on for Medea crates is acacia timber. So what I'm going to be doing is, if I show you in a new scene, is I'll come over here and then I type in BDO something lovely. Okay, so it's kind of not working for me on the Google Chrome, so I've come here to a different web browser source to get it. So I come to something lovely. I'll untick these resources and nodes to clear up the map, and then I'll come to show gathering locations. So let's say I need acacia, right? So then I'll be like, okay, acacia, looks like there's a really good concentration here. So I'd probably come to these areas up here and this area here and do some gathering for some acacia timbers with my lumber axe. Let's say I want some pine sap. Oops. So let's say I want some pine sap. If you come down to the trees and we click pine, we can see there's a really good density here. So I'd probably come here for my pine sap. But yeah, so I will use this to figure out what I want, where I can gather the things that I need. So let's just say for some reason, like, okay, I'm really running low on iron. So I'll type in iron, and I can see the main source of iron is in this area here. So I would come here. If you're not sure where it is, you can always click the nodes back on. So you can see it's just above Kepler is the main concentration, and then you can click it back. Oops. Then you can click the nodes back off. So that will help you navigate. But for pickaxe, I'm probably, if I'm going to use my pickaxe, I've got hundreds of thousands, if not like 1 million plus iron on me. So I'd probably be focusing more on rough stone, which I can't see here. Would it go on the gems? No. Crystals? Well, either way, I know where the rough stone is. The rough stone is, I'd be coming here to Pilgrim's Haven for my rough stone. So I'll be using that mainly. I'm not going to be doing it that much compared to the other life skills. I'll be getting some to craft myself alchemy and cooking utensils, and I will also be using the excess to be able to repair forts in like node war scenarios. But yeah, so this is going to be really good for you guys to organize yourselves on what to gather and where you can find it. So I'll leave a link to something lovely down below. It's going to be a very, very helpful resource for you. Now that that's out of the way, in terms of planning, so what's this? Oh, okay. So this, if you're interested, I'm testing the money per hours between Archman's Histria and Kratuga. I still got to mess around with the formulas a little bit to get the MPHs, and I got to change the loot tables and stuff. That's coming in the near future, depending on how long it takes me to be able to grind those areas. But meat and bones. So I'm planning. I'm planning for 2021. I'm assuming we're getting Caphras this year. I'm assuming we're getting Vel's Heart this year, and I'm assuming we're getting Star's End this year. So end of this year, I want to have a C20 Heave helmet. I want to have full C9 armors, a C9 Kazaka short sword, a C8 Kutum Shuriken, and a C2 Dandelion. That is my goals. If you're interested to see the effects, you can see that all in total, if I hit all these goals, I'll get 6 AP, 3 AAP, 42 DP, 17 accuracy, 420 health, 44 evasion, 44 evasion, and 42 DR. I think this is meant to be 2, sorry. That's incorrect. So yeah, it's 42. So it's going to be 42 evasion, 42 DR, and it's going to take a total of almost 40,000 Caphras stones to be able to hit this goal. And if we're buying Caphras stones at 3 mil a pop, that is going to cost 118 billion. Just to show you the difference, if you're able to buy it at 2 mil a pop, it's significantly cheaper. It's then 79 billion. So like a million doesn't sound like a lot, but when you got to get 40,000 of them, it definitely adds up. But it's going to be 3 million a pop for a very long time, so that's where I'm going to base my calculations on. I'm assuming that within 30 bill, I can get 2 Tech Distortion Earrings. I'm probably going to be crafting these myself, since it's going to be pretty hard to buy from the CM. I'm not sure. I think this is the max price of Vel's Heart on PC, but I'm not positive. So I'm just assuming I'm going to have to buy this. So that's what I've put the price for. And I do want a pen red coral as well. And that's going to cost me probably, I'm assuming it's going to cost me around 15 billion to make this myself, or to buy it from the CM, whichever I choose to do. I'm not really sure. But those are my goals. So in total, with the Caphra prices, with the distortions, with the Vels, with the RCE, it's going to cost me 158 billion silver to hit this goal. So in the next 10 months, that's basically, I'm going to be grinding to reach that. Currently, I've got around 10 bill. Now I might sell my Nuva at some point. I'm not 100% positive yet, but I'll probably get around 10 bill after tax for that as well. So if I was to sell my Nuva, I would take myself to the 20 bill mark, which will take me to 13% there. I want to be grinding at least 500 mil a day. Up to 1 billion a day. So let's say my average is 750 mil a day. So let's say that's my average money that I make every single day. If I can do that, then if I was to do this divided by equals this divided by this, it's going to take me roughly 211 days if I was to average this much silver, assuming I can also buy the Caphras. Don't know how long it's going to take to buy them. I'm going to be gathering them like I've mentioned, but I'm also going to be buying them. But if I was to just buy everything without gathering, it would take me 211 days to reach this goal if I can average 750 million silver a day. If I can pop that over to 1 billion silver, oh, that's 10 billion a day. I wish I could make 10 billion silver a day. If I can pop this to 1 billion silver a day, that's going to drop it to 158 days. So we'll see. But I'm probably going to be doing 500 mil a day since I'm going to be gathering so much. So 500 mil a day is basically the entire year. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I definitely recommend for you guys to be prepping yourselves. Make sure you've got plenty of tools, alchemy tools, gathering axes. I'm gonna test to see which one's the best. Whether it is lumbering is the best way to do it, whether it is sap collecting, blood gathering, butchering, mining. I'll be spreadsheeting like you saw for the Archimedes test there. I'll be spreadsheeting my Caphras, my main focus. I will still be using all of these different ways that I've mentioned, because at the end of the day, I still want to make money. So since I do alchemy life skilling, I do cooking life skilling, it's important for me to diversify my life skills. I'll still be getting the Caphras, but at least when I'm being AFK or semi-AFK, I can translate some of that time into silver, which will be definitely very useful. Okay, and if you're interested to see what my gear would look like if I was to hit the goals that I've shown you in the spreadsheet, then I can show you right here. This would be my gear if I hit them by the end of the year. I'll be 303 AP, 301 Awakening AP, 364 DP. Really important for me to hit that 301 bracket on my Awakening, because I do like to PvP sometimes on my Ninja with my Awakening, even though I do prefer mostly Succession. However, if I was to hit C9 everything with C8 Kudum and C2 Dandy, this is what it would look like. I am assuming we're going to have all the journals by the end of the year. We are missing one more AP. If for some reason we don't have these journals and I get to this stage of the game, what I would do to hit the 301 AP is I put one more Caphra level in my Dandy, and that will give me the 301 bracket. I'll be 302, 301 if we don't have one of the last AP journal. If I hit one more Caphra level in here, but I'm assuming we're going to have it. I'm assuming we're going to have Vel's Heart and Distortions this year as well, so I've already factored that in. So this is what my gear would look like. Check out for yourselves what your gear would look like if you're interested to see. I know people are going to ask me about my crystal setup, so this is going to be my endgame crystal setup. I'm going to have 2 Elcars, 2 Corrupts, 2 Jin Halfies in my helmet, 2 special attack evasions, 2 Jin Vipers, 2 Hooms. That's my crystal setup. Now, if we do get Odalita this year, I'll be very surprised, but if we do get it, that'll be pretty hype, and I would put Hooms in my Dandy. When Odalita comes out, we'd have an option of putting a Garmaster on our Dandy, which will give it 2 crystal slots, and I'd put 2 Hooms in there to get the 4 Hoom set effect. And that's what my gear would look like. I'm pretty disappointed I'm not going to hit the 700 evasion mark here. I'd be 685 evasion, as you can see here. So it'd be 231 hidden evasion, sorry, 454 hidden evasion, 231 regular evasion from the stats, which will sum up to 685. Now, if I did want to hit the 700 evasion without using any evasion accessories, you can see I got 701 evasion here. I would have to go to C16 Caphras in my armors. That is a journey in itself. For now, this year, C9 is the goal. Guys, I hope this video has been helpful. If you got friends, if you know players that are newer to the game, let them know to start prepping for Caphras now, because it's pretty easy to prep for it. All they got to do in terms of node management is get 2 different types of nodes. Super simple. That doesn't require a lot of CP. Just let them know, hey, grab yourself the coal nodes. You know, I got something lovely. This will tell you if Kepler Quarry, Glutoni Cave, and Omar Lava Cave are coal node locations. You can even give them the link and tell them how to show them how to use this, or show them this video. Plenty of places for iron. Tell them to grab these nodes, start making themselves some steel, start crafting themselves some lucky tools, and when Caphras comes out, tell them to go crazy and start gathering, because that's going to be a really good source of income for lower geared players to get their pen gear. And if they don't want to sell it, that's fine. What they can do is at least hoard it for themselves, so when they do get their pen gear, they don't have to wait for buy orders on the CM. So give them the information, get everyone where they need to be. The more people that are prepared for this, the better it's going to be for everybody. So share this with as many people as you can, and let them know to get ready for those Caphras. So even if they're not going to sell it to make money, they're at least not going to be falling behind waiting forever to get these pre-orders. Life skilling is going to be super important. In terms of grinding, I think most people already know the grind spots, but just in case, all of the Kama Sylvia area is really good for Caphras, and basically these like Dregan, the pop piece areas, these are all really good. These low end spots that you're killing lots and lots of mobs really quickly, they just have really high Caphra drop rates, which is really good. High end spots, they don't have as good Caphras drop rates because they're more for the raw silver, for the trash, and the rare drops that give you the big influx of silver. So if you're grinding high-end spots when Caphras come out, you're not going to see that much dust or Caphras. Whereas these areas here, if you were to grind them, you would be making more Caphras. I wouldn't say a crazy amount, but more. But if you want to maximize your Caphras per hour, it is going to be through gathering. So that's why I've made this video. I'm actually really interested to grind these areas when Caphras comes out, just for the PvP mainly. It's going to be nice to go to PvP people without having to pay money to PvP, which I find very toxic. Toxic game design, which I'm really unhappy with the developers, that they've done that and they haven't changed it all these years later, but it is what it is. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please do share this one. I don't care about the views on my channel. I care about everyone, as many people as possible, getting as many Caphras as possible, as quickly as possible. Because the more people that get it, the better it is for everybody. Not just me, not just you, not just the endgame player, everybody. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video.